corpse paint came about.
For me, it's just like an electric jolt.
The real ugly side of humanity, and their music sounds like it.
I always wanted to be a band that was approachable to people, that was just regular-ass people. Yo, what's up? So before I start this episode, I want to bring up two really good friends of mine that I've met along the way. They've been the backbone and really the biggest supporters of this podcast since day one. Everything visually you see with this podcast has been done by Wither Designs and Benny Bones Art, and it could be your band next. Check them out on social media, get yourself something unique and original, and yeah, let's do this. Yo, what's up, Tom? So let's bring it back, dude. I don't know if anybody knows this, but the podcast is from Buffalo, but there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Rochester, New York, and yeah, I got a friend of mine, Tom of White Tides, on the show in person. We've never done this before, but we're going after it, and yeah.
I'm very honored. I'm very honored to be the first person to be here face to face with you.
Hell yeah. So let's bring it back. How many years ago? I've seen some funny videos of White Tides starting out.
I'm sure you have.
But so how long has this band been in cahoots?
Well, I mean, it started off I was probably 12, 13, and it was me and Cole. Me and Cole were the original members that we started off in middle school. He was the one that actually got me into metal music. He had showed me Slipknot, and I had no idea what metal music actually was. So I started listening to it more, and he's like, "Man, I would really love to do a band." And I remember one year we both asked for an instrument. I asked for a 7-string Jackson, and he asked for it was a Rogue 5-string bass. Yeah.
Yikes, dude.
Yeah. But I remember we both got what we wanted, and then we hit up this kid that was in the school jazz band, and he was our, I guess, first official drummer.
That's kind of what I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
We hooked up with this dude that played classical guitar, man. But
it's outside of the range. They don't know a lot about metal. This kid, he strictly knew jazz. He read sheet music, and we were oh, try and play. Of course, it was Recreant by Chelsea Grin.
Nice.
We're let's try and do a cover of this, and he was doing some jazz shit over it. It was fun. I remember we actually started playing TNT by AC/DC out of nowhere, and his mother upstairs was like, "Play that again." Play that again! It was so funny.
That's usually not the case, man.
I know.
They're usually shut up, get that thing out of here.
I mean, low key, they were probably get the hell out of my house.
But they're I want to support my kid, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I mean, it's come such a long way, and I think we've been at it for about 5-6 years now. Yeah.
I thought it was only 3.
Oh, dude, it's been going. And we've definitely picked up a lot of momentum, especially with our drummer Tyler. He's been that missing piece, I guess. And the kid's got a lot of passion, man. I love it. And he's just so wholesome, and he's always down to work with you, and he's a great time to hang out with. But it's been a long time, man, and you don't really realize it until you're talking about it. You know what I mean?
Until you really think hard about it.
Yeah, until you really think about, wow, I've really been at this for quite some time now.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest thing is I like to ask people, at the end of the day, what are you trying to accomplish with your music?
I mean, really, I've always just loved playing, live shows, playing music for other people. It makes me feel good, and I would sure hope that other people would enjoy it, you know what I mean? But
that doesn't mean shit, dude.
No, not really. No.
Yeah. But
I always enjoyed it. I always enjoyed music. I remember I started lessons when I was 8 years old. It was a Fender, or no, it wasn't even a Fender. It was a Squier mini Strat.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that thing.
Guitar Center tries pawning those off, dude.
Yeah, they try and pawn them off to little 12-year-olds and 8-year-olds.
This is the best guitar ever.
Oh, my God.
This is the best guitar, man.
I'm telling you. But I remember, actually, that was how me and Cole were thinking, oh, we should start a band because like that thing was sitting in my room for years. I took lessons for like 1 year, and then I stopped playing for a real long time. And it wasn't until like 12 or 13 when I was like started messing around with it again. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, well, if I want to actually, continue to do this, I should upgrade on gear a little bit. The funny thing was, I only had this little like 60-watt Ibanez amp, like just the real, real shitty one.
My friend used to have it. It was literally like
it's literally like a box. It's a handheld
tall.
Box.
Yeah,
but I just remember I need to get an upgrade on some gear if I actually want to continue doing this. And I remember from that point on, I was very determined. I remember every Sunday we would have band practice.
Wait, who? What, with the jazz guy?
Oh, no. The jazz guy was kind of like the beginning. But after him, because we were like, I don't think it's going to work. Because we had stopped for a minute, and then we started jamming with this kid named Tabor.
Okay.
Me and him we still talk occasionally, and he's a really great guy. But we would go to his house like every Sunday. We would practice for like 3 or 4 hours, and we just jam stuff too. Like we try and learn a couple covers. And I remember at one point it was our very first show ever. It was in a backyard. It was actually in our guitarist's backyard.
Nice,
dude. It was awesome. We had maybe maybe 30, 40 people back there, and
you're like, this is mind blowing.
Yeah, dude, it felt awesome. I was like, man. But I remember we played a cover by Of Mice and Men. It was, Feels Like Forever. We had covered that, and probably looking back, there's a video of it somewhere floating around. But I bet if I look back, I'd be like, wow, we sounded like Garbo.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm like afraid to look at anything I've done. Like,
it's the worst.
You're just, I've always been that person where I'm like, this ain't good enough. But that's just what musicians do, man.
Well, like the thing is, I see that as a positive thing because you're looking back and you're saying, I've improved a hell of a lot more than I was back then. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Especially at such a young age. Like, I think at that point I was 14. And,
I think I got into it heavy around like 15.
Yeah.
Because I started taking lessons, but my guitar teacher was pushing me into like Led Zeppelin, Cream.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
I'll be honest with you, man. I actually really enjoy that shit.
Oh, I still love
it.
I still love it. But like, I don't listen to it now, but I'm kind of glad that I got pushed into that because I feel like if I was introduced to metal like a long time ago, I would have been like, all right, this is cool. But at me being that young, I feel like I wouldn't have like understood what it was all about.
Right. No, I totally understand that because I remember I was introduced to it in like 6th grade or something.
Yeah.
And, at first it's like, it's loud, it's angry, oh my God.
Yeah.
But once you kind of start easing into it and, you just listen to it a little bit more, it starts to get a little more enjoyable as you listen. But like, now it's like I can just listen to it. You know what I mean? It's nice music to me, and especially if there's passion and like a story behind it. I always love that. That's like my main thing about music is a meaning behind the lyrics or behind the instrumentals, whatever.
Yeah.
One of the newer songs that we have coming out, I wrote the lyrics for it, and it was funny because it was like really last minute.
Oh.
Like,
oh boy.
It was super last minute. It was probably like a few hours before we went to like the studio.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
But I just wrote it, it came from the bottom of my heart. It's something that actually really means something to me. And that song, it conveys it perfectly.
What's it about?
It's about family members that, they're family, but only by blood. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no, I feel it.
Exactly. Everybody deals with it. Everybody has somebody that's like that, you know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, you're my family, but you couldn't give two shits about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all they want to do is just take, and they won't give anything back.
Yeah, that's a good topic. The one thing I can't do is like love songs, obviously. But I mean, like,
I think our genre isn't too love friendly.
yeah, love friendly. But no, that's cool. It's I honestly that's the cool thing with like White Tides. I mean, like, you guys are into like meaning of something. I mean, like, I've read Cole's lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like meaning behind it. It's not just like
I will punch you in the face.
yeah, like fight
666.
Yeah, like something about Satan or something about like breakups or whatever. No,
it's there's always going to be meaning behind it, and that's what we try and go for, because we don't want to be like the stereotypical, like I said, oh, we'll punch you in the face. And not that there's nothing wrong with that, because I could definitely get down with that.
yeah.
I could definitely get down with that type of stuff, because then that's just when I want to throw down. You know what I mean?
Right.
But ever since I started going to shows, I just love the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Especially in Rochester. Rochester is probably one of the best
there's so much
places
stuff
for
going
it.
on.
Oh God.
I mean, like, I've seen other scenes like I just went to Ohio a few weeks ago, and there's a huge scene out there. I mean, like, I didn't expect there to be much. But like, Ohio's huge, California's huge, Florida's pretty huge. When I went, these are all scenes that I've like seen with my own eyes, and they're huge. But I mean, for like local bands, Rochester has a lot going for it. Like, I mean,
Oh God, dude.
everybody. I don't know. When I was younger, I always wanted to like connect with like-minded people, and I mean, like, I feel like any show I go to in Rochester, like, I know at least 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have to like bring like a bunch of
you
friends.
don't.
Like I
Everybody's already gonna be there. You know what I mean?
especially if you're a musician, man.
Oh yeah.
Like,
No, especially like with local bands, everybody has like a genuine respect and like love for each other. You know what I mean?
but I mean, like, that doesn't really happen in a lot of other places. I mean, like, not to like act like Rochester's all that, but like, I mean, I've talked to other people where they're like, oh, my spot's kind of dead. Like, there's 4 local bands that are friends with each other, but there's no actual like scene.
Right.
Like, there's no, I don't know.
And that's what I think is so hard to find these days, is like that genuine camaraderie.
Yeah.
Where like it brings people together. Like, I remember when shows started coming back, all the familiar faces I saw, all the people that I haven't seen in like 2 years.
Right.
And they're all right back. We're right back where we left off, man. And that's something that's hard to find. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, it's not a lot of other places have that. And I'm very grateful that Rochester is one of those places that does have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've met so many cool people. Like, I mean, I only lived there for like 2 years, but I mean, like, those 2 years I lived there and went to shows, like, it was fun. And I mean, I'm still going to a bunch of Rochester shows, but it's just like, shit. There was like a show every week, man. It was fun.
Dude, I'm telling you, like the scene, I remember like when we started actually playing shows, like going out to venues and booking shows. You know, at first, obviously, it's like, okay, we're playing to like 10 people, but still, it's fun. And especially like those people that stick around, or that the familiar faces you see at every show you go to or play.
Yeah.
You know, it brings a lot of joy, because it's like, man, everybody's here having a good time. Everybody's throwing down. And, you know, me, I'm just a positive person. I like to think about things like, okay, you know, how can we bring people together? How can we, you know, try and, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just love going to shows, especially Rochester shows. Rochester's my home. I've lived there my whole life. And, you know, I really had no idea about, you know, the music scene until I actually started getting involved into it.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing. Like, from an outsider's perspective that doesn't go to shows, like, as a musician,
Right.
They might see it a lot differently, but when you're a musician and you go to shows, like, it's totally different.
Well, dude, actually, last night, the show that was at the Bug Jar, I talked to this one kid at the bar, and, you know, he's probably around our age. I mean, everyone was young there, but he came up and he's like, yeah, man, this is like my first metal show I've ever been to. And I love meeting people like that because
that's awesome. You know they're getting swallowed in, dude.
This kid was having a great time, and I could see it in his face. He was just having a great time, and I love that. You know, he said he was from Albany, and he was going to RIT, and he's like, yeah, it's my first metal show. And I told him, I go, dude, these are the best places to go.
Yeah.
This is the way to go because everybody here has respect for everyone. Everybody's just trying to have fun.
And it doesn't cost, like, it literally, like, there's no reason why you can't go. It doesn't matter if you're, like, piss broke. Like,
right.
Literally, you could show up and support like local musicians for like $5.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like yesterday, I think the show was like $10.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
That's literally lunch. So,
yeah.
Like, I mean, that is one thing I do really like about Oz and the Bug Jar, and just in general, like,
I've always really liked the Bug Jar.
Yeah, I mean they try to keep the prices low, and I how do I put it? I like really respect that because some venues I feel like they like spike the prices.
They'll overcharge it because they know that people are gonna want to buy a ticket to that show,
or just support their friend. At a local level, you know, you have the friends that come out and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, just like the normals.
But I mean, like, if you really wanted to support the scene, you would only charge $5 to $10. Like, local bands would rather have heads than money. In my opinion. Like,
oh yeah.
And I feel like the Bug Jar and the smaller venues, like the DIY type gigs, they understand that, so they're like, all right, we'll deal with like the low cost tickets.
Right. But look at the turnout from yesterday. There was like at least like 100 people in that room.
Oh yeah.
And I've always enjoyed playing the Bug Jar purely because it's a smaller venue, and like when people get packed in there,
it feels like
it's a
fucking
great time, man.
It feels like you're selling out like an arena when you're in there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, oh man, there's so many people in here.
but I mean, like that. I mean that. I think the fact that like that place got lifted out of the dirt with the pandemic too just goes to show like that spot is just growing.
Yeah.
And like it ain't going.
And it's gonna continue. It's just gonna keep going.
It ain't going away.
Yeah, man. I mean, there are a lot of great venues in the Rochester area. The Bug Jar being one of them. We played at California Brew House a few times.
Yeah.
That place is fun too. I remember we've had shows there at like 3 a.m. and like, dude, there's literally like 5 people in the room, and the main band that was headlining comes up, and like they're just 5 people out there.
Yeah.
But all 5 of those people were jamming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. It's like, you know, I get it. People gotta go home. It's late. Whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, they still played their whole set, and I stayed for that whole set, and I had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just all about support. You know what I mean?
All right, so we're back on track with White Tides.
We're back.
So one of my favorite questions I like ask to bands, any level, huge, small, anything. Like, what have you learned up to this point about being in a band, and what do you think does it take to be successful, and what does that word like mean to you?
One word?
Yeah.
Friendship, bro. I will stand by that, because if you're not friends with the guys you're in a band with, like, then there's no point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have good relations with all of your bandmates, and if you don't have that, there's not gonna be chemistry when it comes to like writing.
Yeah.
And like trying to, you know, put stuff together, such as, you know, a show or a merch run, or you gotta have genuine friendship with your bandmates. Like, dude, like Tyler is the best person ever. I will defend this till the day I die. Tyler is like one of the most genuine people I've ever met. I remember the first time we went over to his house. We went and got a garbage plate together. And I just
Goofball.
oh, dude, he's just such a goofball, and he's just so energetic. He's fun to be around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it really brings a smile to my face. Like, he's just a great guy.
Yeah.
And, he's very family oriented, and he takes his friendships very seriously, and like he has genuine like affection towards the people he cares about. Like, he won't bullshit you. You know what I mean? That's not Tyler at all. He won't bullshit you. He'll tell you how shit is, but man, he's just, like you said, a goofball. And that's what I love about him, man.
Goofball. You hear it, Tyler? You're a goofy.
Freaking goofball, man. But man, he's a sexy bastard too.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I'd say the first part of the question, like accomplishments. Like, what do you think has been like the pinnacle point to where you felt like, I don't know, like what's your biggest achievement with the band so far, do you think?
I think our biggest achievement, honestly, is the show we played back in, like, before the pandemic started. We played a Body Snatcher show with, we played with, it was Body Snatcher, Born Anew, and there was one other,
Did I play that one? I think I did.
You might have.
I did. It was sold out.
It was
wasn't
it was with. You remember when Volkills came up on stage?
Yeah, that was the show I played. I remember because everybody's like, "Yo, you do know like, you basically sold out the montage, right?" And I'm like, "Really?" Because I couldn't see. My glasses fell off. And I couldn't see the crowd, so the whole show I couldn't see anything.
You see a bunch of blurs.
Other than
like, what's going on?
Other than the fretboard, bro. And it was I thought that I played a good set too, but like I put my glasses on. I'm like, whoa, wait a second.
Like, look at all these people.
I'm like, I gotta admit, like that. I mean, even though I wasn't in the band, I remember being like, whoa, this is like cool.
It was a
shit.
great show, man. I just remember a lot of people being there, and I remember we played a killer set, and it just, I can't describe it, you know what I mean? I remember just thinking to myself that this is something that I want to continue to do.
Yeah, no, I remember playing that show and being like, fuck, dude, like, I mean, I played a few death metal shows, but I really saw the difference of, like, capacity with hardcore shows.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like,
it gets packed. And that's what I love is just everybody packs in and, they're all sweaty, stinky. But, man, dude, it's just such a great atmosphere to be around. And people think, like, oh, my God, scary people. Oh. Like, no, we're all friendly.
Nah, yeah, see, like, that's the biggest misconception, dude. I'll say this one more time. I talked to one of the most considered evil people in metal, Mayhem and Gorgoroth.
Yeah.
And they were two of the biggest fucking sweethearts, man. like I get them on them on here, and they're like, thank you for having the chat. Have a good day. Adios. Talk to you soon. I'm like,
whoa, okay.
I'm like, all right, man. Like, I was waiting for like, don't call back, man. Like,
I don't want you calling me again.
Yeah. Like, shitty interview. Keep going. But,
yeah.
Well, like, no, I feel that. Like, everybody
thinks we're big, bad, scary, but no, we're just all friends coming out to have a good time.
Goofballs, man.
Yeah, for literal fucking goofballs.
But, no, so other than that show, what else do you think? Biggest achievement, man, for the band.
Right.
So biggest achievement of the band other than that show, what was it?
Just sticking together.
Hold your mic closer to your face, Buck.
Oh.
Not that close.
It's just sticking together through all, the BS and, like, the bumps in the road that we had as a band. We went through a lot of lineup changes. And one of the biggest ones was going from drummer to drummer, simply because we just had to change practice space and, like, find a whole new location. But going to Tyler was pretty easy because he already had a solidified space, and we could just set up right there. It wasn't really a hassle.
Yeah.
But there have been a lot of bumps in the road, man. Just it comes to like writer's block and drama, and just the whole thing. Like we went through, I want to say like 3 or 4 lineup changes in like the past like 2 years, something like that. But ever since we brought TC into the band, it really hasn't changed since then. We actually have a new member that we just added, Kyle Radke from Into the Harbor.
Oh yeah, sexy boy.
Yeah, big sexy boy. I'm telling you, man. He just bought a new Sterling, I think it's the Stingray bass. That thing's nice, man. But
he bought it for the band?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in, dude.
Oh, that's what I mean. I'm like, hey, you bought that for the band?
No, he's in the band, bro. He says he's a fill, but if he bought equipment for the project,
he's in the band.
He's in.
But I've known him for years, just through playing local shows, and
it's kind of funny because like when I saw him in the rehearsal spot, I'm like, this is kind of, it feels right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I know that he's friends with all of you guys, and he likes that type of music.
Oh yeah.
And he's got a like good spirit.
He's definitely he's been in the scene for a lot longer than any of us have.
Oh yeah.
So he's got a lot of wisdom that he can teach us.
Right.
Just promotion wise, and all the little things that you really don't think about if you're like actually trying to go somewhere with the band. And he's honestly just a really good guy too. Like, he's great to talk with. I go to his house every now and then, and I hang out with him and his wife, Sarah. They're great people. They're very genuine, and that's what you're really looking for, is just that genuine person that you can get along with and also have like a professional relationship.
Try
with.
to collaborate too.
But yeah, he's playing bass for us right now, and I'm really happy to have him on board because he seems like he's very determined, and he's expressed to us multiple times that he's very excited, and I am too, honestly. I mean?
That's sweet. That's real cool. Because I was there, and I'm like, bro. I mean, I just feel like it works. I feel like the puzzle is kind of there. Like it's like 99% there.
Oh God, dude, I'm telling you. Well, like the funny thing is too with Kyle is that me and him are almost like the same person, and we have the same logic when it comes to writing like a riff or something. There is beauty in simplicity.
Oh yeah, I say that too. I like it.
You don't even need to go crazy technical on a riff. Like there is beauty in simplicity. I stand by that because literally almost every riff I've written for White Tides has been like bullshit.
but it's like I mean, just that style of music, it always works.
Oh right, that's what I mean too. It also comes with the genre. It's very simple, but it definitely packs a punch. You know what I mean? That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, plus we're just both fucking stupid and goofy. Like, I remember one night we were just up real late watching YouTube, and like there was this video that like we were all crying about. Like we were just laughing our happy asses off about it, and we kept rewinding it for like at least like 30 minutes, just back, and eventually someone was like, "Can we stop watching this?" And we all look at him like, "No, we want to do what we want to do." But and it goes back to like you have to get along with your bandmates.
Yeah.
You have to get along, because if you don't, then you're not gonna. It's gonna create a problem with writing or general decisions that everyone wants to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a whole thing. But happy to have Kyle on board.
Last thing is looking forward. What do you want to achieve with White Tides?
I would love to at least go on like maybe a small like East Coast tour or something. It's, something like that.
How about big? We're thinking big picture. Like,
oh, you're thinking big picture stuff.
I'm talking like the biggest picture that you could fucking think of.
Oh, dude. The biggest picture I could think of is just like playing a sold out like stadium, like Darien Lake. If I could, okay, that's the goal. If I could get a show at Darien Lake with like a bigger name band that's coming in, I think I would quit right there after. I'd be like, this is the peak. That's it for me.
Yeah.
Like if I were to leave right then and there, I would be satisfied. Cause
what do you think? So, I feel like that genre wouldn't work at Darien Lake.
oh no,
but
it wouldn't.
Okay, let's see. Let's think about something that's like, I don't know, like surface level, like something that like could actually be
Something that is attainable.
And I'm not saying that you can't play a stadium. I'm just saying that Darien Lake,
Darien Lake is not
you're
the
literally
atmosphere for a hardcore show.
You're literally having like Post Malone and Korn playing there. like they don't give a fuck.
I mean
Warped Tour, like you could
Warped
get on
Tour,
Warped Tour.
yeah. I mean, I never got the pleasure of going to one of those.
Me
man.
neither.
I was real heartbroken about it just because, you know, I was fairly young when like I first heard about it, and I would ask my parents, "Can you drive me here?"
Right.
And they're like, "No, you're not going to that." And it sucked. And then when I was actually starting to come around to where like, oh, I have my license now, I can go drive by myself to go see it, they ended it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, fuck. And you can't do much about it, but, you know, if we got to play, like, something along the lines of, like, Warped Tour,
Yeah.
that would be a pretty big achievement, and that's something that...
What about,
you know,
what the hell's that one thing that just came through with Knock Loose? What was it?
I know what you're talking about.
It's
It was
some fest. I hate when this happens. Yeah, I just skip along. Yeah, there was a fest that came through. I just don't know the name, but...
Mm-hmm. No, I heard about that. It was, like, Knocked Loose and
Yeah.
a couple of other bands that had come through. They were going in Syracuse, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I got to do something like that with a band like Knocked Loose or, like, a bigger name, and I got to maybe hop on, like, a tour date where they were coming, like, locally or, like,
You could,
around
man.
here,
Bro, you could.
I probably could.
It's
Probably could,
It's
but
just who you know.
it's not about what you know. It's about who you know. That's something I've heard multiple times, and I 100% agree with.
And I know Cole, the guitar player. Yeah, I talked to him. He's a decent.
Well, no,
decent
he's
guy.
a vocalist.
No, Cole.
Oh, Cole.
Cole Crushfield.
I
He's
thought you were talking about our Cole.
No. He's not in the band anymore. But he was. Fuck, if he was still in the band, I would have been like, yo, we got a band that wants to play with you, bro, in Buffalo.
Oh man.
But he's not in the band anymore.
It's quite unfortunate.
Yep, facepalm.
Well, thanks for your help, John.